Hi, everyone. Welcome to Film Vets. I'm your host, Paul Dixon, and with me is my co-host,
Dan Young.
Dan, we're going to talk today about some big news that came out. James Gunn has gone on Twitter to basically say that Henry Cavill is no longer Superman, and Superman himself, former Superman, has gone on Twitter to also say that he is no longer Superman. They are completely rebooting the character from scratch. He's going to be younger, and it's a letdown of sorts. What are your thoughts about all this?
It's bittersweet. On one hand, yes, Henry Cavill, like, that dude was the Man of Steel to me. Like, I loved his character of Clark Kent in Superman. I thought he was fantastic. But on the other hand, yes, we lose him as Superman, but we potentially gain him in the other second tidbit of news that we might have.
Yes. Here. Well, we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay, fine. You're gonna make me wait. I'm glad that they are finally taking DC, pulling it back, just kind of going, okay, we need to shake all of this out, restart over, and give this a real honest approach, because this whole time it felt like DC was just like, oh, okay, well, they have Marvel's got a team up. Let's throw a team up movie up there. Oh, now they're doing this. Let's throw that up there. And it's just like they were trying to keep pace so they didn't go bankrupt, but they didn't need to do that. When Marvel was moving into their phase 4, they could have had all of this planned out early on. So once Endgame dropped, they go, okay. And then they slide in there whenever they know that, Marvel's going to be a little weakened from their big kind of crescendo. So now James Gunn is finally taking everything, kind of pulling it back and going, you know what, hang on, let's do these characters right. And in order to do that, it does mean we're going to have to lose Henry Cavill as Superman. But if they do get to the Crisis on Infinite Earths, that's DC, right?
That is DC, yes.
We might get Henry Cavill back. And I hope James Gunn gives that some kind of nod at that point. I hope everything's calmed down enough where we can get Henry Cavill back as kind of just a superhero or Superman from another universe. Obviously a much worse universe, but, we'll take what we can get. Maybe we can get Batfleck back for that too. Like, who knows? As of right now, I think DC needs that moment. Yeah,
I think it's actually interesting that you mentioned Ben Affleck, because in one of the tweets, James Gunn, who's very active on Twitter and reacts to whatever fans ask, and he talks to them. He actually engages. Something he mentioned was that they want Ben Affleck to come in and direct something in a future project. What that'll be, who knows?
Yes.
It could be.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I think he's he's a great actor, but I love his direction.
Aquaman.
Oh, God.
Bring him into Aquaman.
It's going to be interesting because I don't think Jason Momoa he's already gone on record saying he's excited about working with James Gunn on a project. I mean, he's over the moon about a project. I think we all know what that's going to be. It's Lobo. He's going to be Lobo.
Yeah, I was going to say
he looks like Lobo.
He's got to be Lobo. Yeah, like that is the perfect casting choice, and I can see him doing that character really well. Yeah, like it would be fantastic. Exactly.
And, so look,
I'm just gonna spray paint him white and let him go.
As far as Henry Cavill goes, it's disappointing because he never got a really good shot at being Superman. It was very much out the gate. Man of Steel was kind of polarizing, and then Batman v Superman went straight into him dying at the end, and then Justice League brought him back to life. We never got a real feel for who he was as a character. I think, unfortunately, at this point, because the DC universe is so messed up, there's just so much baggage with it. Starting from scratch is the right way to go. And if you're going to do it, you're going to have to wipe the slate clean. And I think that James Gunn is doing that. He's already said, that Ben Affleck's probably not coming back. And then I believe that's something he mentioned. But Batman will be part of the DC universe. Superman is their top priority. They're going for a younger Superman, so early 30s, I would imagine, but it's not an origin story from what I understand. So it's a bittersweet moment for DC fans. I think a lot of people are pissed that Henry Cavill's gone, but I think unfortunately you have to wipe the slate clean in order to create something new. You got to start from the ground up. You can't just bandage this thing. It's too messed up at this point. And it's like if Marvel limped along with phase 1 and just never changed anything. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. They started from the ground up and worked their way to phase 2, 3, 4. And unfortunately, that's just what they got to do now. Also, you have some news about Henry Cavill that you wanted to get to that you're really excited about. I knew you'd be excited about this.
If I don't talk about this now, my heart's going to explode. My face is going to melt off.
Oh my God! Go for it.
We have lost a Superman, but we have potentially gained an Emperor. Now, by that I mean Henry Cavill, Vertigo, and Amazon are currently in super early talks. Nothing is set in stone to bring in a series based on the Warhammer 40,000 universe. Now, I've been playing personally since I was like 12, and I have an extensive orc army with some pieces that throw back to the first edition game. I love this game. I love the lore. I love everything about it. I love painting it. I love assembling it. I love playing it. I love decimating my enemies. I love everything about it. So... But I do. I think I've always wanted them to do something live action, and I hope it's going to be live action. I hope it's not another animated thing. Games Workshop already has Warhammer Plus, where they have a bunch of animated stuff, and it's decent. It's really decent. It is a British-based company, Games Workshop, that makes Warhammer. But if Amazon gets in and makes it a live action and sprinkles things like, for example, we could do like the Battle of Macragge. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry. Anybody that knows Warhammer out there, you already know it. It's where the Tyranids come in. Tyranids are based on the xenomorph morphology from Alien. So, but they're much more terrifying looking. If you could imagine something worse than a xenomorph, that's a Tyranid. It's just awful. It's a little xenomorph, a little like Starship Troopers. Then you've got the orcs, which are just crazy, but they're fun. They're the only ones having fun in the future. And then you've got the Necrons, which are like Terminators, and you've got like all these different races, space elves and dark space elves and demons. And I'm sure I'm missing people like dwarves, but I digress. So no matter what way they go, even if it's just like an origin story of the Emperor of Mankind, that would be so sick. And Henry Cavill has a Custodes army, which he is super passionate about. He loves the game. He loves everything about it. And he provided, the forum. Like, I wish that he was here and we could just let him talk about it. Like, this is so awesome. What do you think, Paul?
Well, I mean,
before
speaking
I pass
from
out
someone
from not breathing.
Yeah. Speaking about, from the point of view of someone who's never really, delved into the game beyond us buying the pieces and me putting them together and never finishing them. I have to say,
it's a beautiful shade of gray.
Yeah. Life, But, when it comes down to it, I am excited because I want Henry Cavill to have something and succeed at something because he's such a great actor. He's so dedicated to whatever he puts himself into. And if he's doing something like this and he's passionate about it, which it really seems like he is, this is going to be amazing. And I can't wait to see it. I wish him the best, and I look forward to Warhammer, the movie, TV show, whatever they bring up, and I look forward to James Gunn's Superman.
Yes, absolutely. But I think if they do the Warhammer series right, it's going to make you a devout follower. It's going to pull a lot of people into the hobby. I think so, and
that's great
for Henry Cavill to be in it, to be so passionate about the game. He's been playing for a long time too. It just so happens that he became Superman, but he was playing Warhammer. And there's a lot of famous people that used to play 40K. Like, I think Robin Williams had an orc army. Like, there's a lot that would surprise you about people that play, board games or like D&D or things like that. But 40K has a huge following. And it's a great time to spend with friends. And you just kind of trash on each other because they can't shoot like orcs.
Whoa. Shots are fired by Dan. Okay, what did you think about the news of Henry Cavill? What do you think of the news of Henry Cavill leaving Superman but having Warhammer to just jump off into? Let us know in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out our other segment called Vet Spotlight, where we talk about veterans who were in or are in the entertainment industry. Thank you, veterans, for your service and for stopping by today. And Dan, thank you for giving me your input on Warhammer.
You're welcome. I thought you needed an expert here. The Emperor protects.
I'm trying to think of a slogan or something. I got nothing. Go Hammer. Hammer time.
In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. Warhammer, buy a piece now.
That's it. I get that voiceover in.
I love it. So for whatever reason, I love it.
Hello, this is Dan.
I don't know why. I just it's like my movie voice, in
a world where I'm out of toilet paper.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.